Hello everyone and welcome to Battlebots Super, the long overdue episode of Battlebots Super. Heat D is finally out for you guys, and before you ask why it's taken me over a month long to post this, let's just say YouTube hasn't been a kind butterfly towards me. But who cares about this anymore? I'm back. And we got a powerhouse full of fighters right now. We have a powerful flipper versus a powerful drum spinner in terms of Apollo versus Poison Arrow. And we have ice, and we have another powerful spinner versus possibly the most dangerous weapon in the entire game, Double Jeopardy. But first, let's start this off with the fight that I think will be the worst fight out of all of the fights that I've ever had, with Brutus versus Black Dragon. Black Dragon has a good chance of fighting a good fight. It does have a good weapon, however, its poor mobility makes it vulnerable to get flipped, hit, or even grabbed. And as for Brutus, he is literally just a Black Dragon clone. Yeah, what fun. Two vertical spinners fighting each other. Wow, I'm so excited, guys. Especially since vertical spinners work so well in this game, right? Like, vertical spinners are like the best thing ever, don't you guys think? Like, you guys have to be impressed by how good vertical spinner. Okay, screw this. Let's just do the fight. Let the season finally commence. Black Dragon on the left, Brutus on the right. And as I've described, this is going to be the most boring fight ever. I have to wait till the cavalry finally comes here and ruin things. Jeez, this game was lagging hard, and oh my god. I guess it goes to a judge's decision then. The winner by a 4-3 decision, and the most boring fight in the universe. The winner is Brutus. With the most boring fight of the heat out of the way, it's time to move on to fights that might actually be interesting. And our next one is Apollo versus Poison Arrow. Apollo, while having a really strong flipper, especially when you put the rocket booster on it, it has to trade that for very weak armor. Poison Arrow, while technically having the most teeth in this competition, Poison Arrow does not have good ground clearance, and it would be very difficult to get under Apollo and take a win. Let the battle begin. Apollo trying to get his flip off of Poison Arrow. Poison Arrow kind of stuck under Apollo at the moment. And Apollo tries to go for a flip. That was a failure, but it looks like Apollo's flipped to the other side of the map, which will be a tough time for both bots to get under, but that small balance beam on the behind of Apollo will surely make this fight much easier for him. Apollo has taken some major damage in this fight, though, and Poison Arrow has surprisingly won this fight. So Poison Arrow coming out of it with a surprising win and moves on to the next round. Now it's time to discuss who will be the next one to make it towards the next round, and who will vie for a spot in the redemption round to be in the semifinals of this heat. It's Ice Wave versus Double Jeopardy. Ice Wave has a very powerful weapon, but however, he has to make up for that with it's very unstable. So whenever it hits another bot, it's usually gonna flip itself over and have to self-right itself. And while it can self-right, this leaves it defenseless to be to and it's vulnerable for an enemy attack. Double Jeopardy is a cannon bot, and before you think of how unfair it is to have a cannon bot, I'm just going to say that each cannon has one shot on it, like how I put it in when I introduced Double Jeopardy. And while the cannons are effective, Double Jeopardy is lacking in defense, making it somewhat of a glass cannon. Yeah, that's what a pun I just made there. And let the final bot battle of this round begin. Remember, Double Jeopardy only has one round to fire, and there goes it. Ice Wave is now going to chew away at Double Jeopardy, or that's what we think. Double Jeopardy actually has Ice Wave wedged, but not for long. Ice Wave finally gets the win. So now it's time to decide on which two bots get to go to the redemption round and get to advance to the semifinals along with the winners Brutus, Poison Arrow, and Ice Wave. And so it's a choice between Black Dragon, Apollo, and Double Jeopardy on who will be the first out for Heat D. Now, in all fairness, none of the bots really did any damage, but out of all of them, Black Dragon didn't do anything. Apollo at least attempted to get a flip on Poison Arrow, even though it was stuck on the front wedge of Apollo. And Double Jeopardy did front armor damage to Ice Wave. Ice Wave just held in there. So the two bots advancing to the redemption round are Apollo and Double Jeopardy. Also, we're using a new cannon design for Double Jeopardy this fight, just because we want to see how it works. It's kind of like going to be a modular cannon thing for. Let the bot battle begin. Let's see how well Double Jeopardy. Well, did pretty well. It took out Apollo's wheel, and now Apollo took out its only flipper. Well, that pretty much settles the fight right then and there. Double Jeopardy's new cannon modification did seemingly well. Jeez. So now it's time for the semifinals, which is Brutus versus Poison Arrow and Ice Wave versus Double Jeopardy. Now let's get the rematch out of the way first, and let's see if Double Jeopardy can redeem themselves. They are once again going with their bomb design, which is what they used against Apollo. Will it work this time against Ice Wave? We'll see. Let the rematch begin. Ice Wave is he even moving? Is he stuck? Oh, he's stuck on his wedge. Well, that leaves Double Jeopardy liable for an attack. If Ice Wave can still clear the soldiers, and he is, that means Ice Wave is just going slowly towards Double Jeopardy and that destructive spinning weapon that is so strong. Ice Wave is still attempting to get this problem solved. Double Jeopardy looks like it's about to be KO'd, and it is in the most glorious explosion possible. Ice Wave once again wins its fight against Double Jeopardy and moves on into the finals. Well, Double Jeopardy moves on to the fight for third place, and Ice Wave moves on to the finals. So now we move to Brutus and Poison Arrow. Hopefully both can get a much more entertaining fight than they did last time. Poison Arrow lost in some very weird circumstances as it flipped itself over and kind of went into a little pushing battle. and kind of went into a little pushing battle with Apollo until Poison Arrow's drum knocked it out. Brutus, no, that's Brutus. Yeah, Brutus won the fight by not doing anything. It was just boring. Hopefully it can be at least somewhat entertaining. Pray for me. Final spot in the finals begin. Brutus and Poison Arrow trying to fight for low ground. Poison Arrow using some armor as some sort of wedge-like thing, and Brutus flipping over Poison Arrow. Brutus is having a tough time moving, it looks like, but so is Poison Arrow. Oh, so this is gonna have to be another judge's decision. Great. The winner by a 5-2 decision is Brutus. So Brutus goes to the finals, while Poison Arrow will go to the fight for, not this again, will go to the fight for third place against Double Jeopardy. Speaking of which, why don't we go see that fight? Let the fight for third place of the heat begin. Double Jeopardy already used up its cannon fodder. Now it has to be in a pushing match with Poison Arrow that it just lost. Poison Arrow took third place and will now compete in the redemption round to join the second place heat fighters. So now it is time for the Heat D finale between Brutus and Ice Wave. Both bots came off very lucky. Ice Wave barely losing its fights against barely winning its fights against Double Jeopardy, and Brutus being in the most boring fights possible. Who's gonna win this definite one-sided fight that might not be so one-sided? Let's find out. And let the heat final begin. Ice Wave trying to get its first hit off of Brutus here. It seems like the soldiers are going to decide who wins this fight. And it seems like it might be Ice Wave. And it looks like it is. Ice Wave gets the knockout and wins Heat D. So thank you all so much for watching. Heat E will be coming soon. I hope you all enjoyed me coming back. It's been a while, I know, but YouTube has been very freaking annoying with me. So I hope that I'm able to still post videos on YouTube. So bye.